I have some concerns.
Not everyone.
I just got done watching this. As far as I can boil down, it boils down to three big things. One, we need to go to war. We need to have it go to war with NATO. Two, you need war to create warriors. They're not going to be prepped ready in a simulator, even if you're talking about the Russian command trying to take Kiev. Of really these small insurgents, battalions, platoons taking patrol posts out there on a border zone. So that you need war for warriors is the second one. Towards we need to have to go to a UN war here, so it changes out the game. Because what good is it if we can then use American weapons in Ukraine if you take the stronghold? The difference is here that we will go to a UN war by using American weapons in Russian territory. So now that you've conquered something that isn't necessarily Russian territory by that standpoint, but we can already use our weapons to define what was Ukraine's territory in this war game. How would you ever think that you'll win the Kremlin by pushing everybody out? How do you maintain the population inside of there where that isn't just a soft target? Because the same way in this ideal to the notation of the Russian strategy, if you can't win it, then blow it up so nobody can live there. Right? I mean, sure, you would argue why we wouldn't do it because F-35s and F-16s and the manufacturing of missiles the war machine. But again, that's only by the latitude that we go to war in a NATO standpoint. I mean, what would Russia do? Hit China? Hit any other supply line or one of these big targets? Obviously, that wouldn't bend little Ukraine inside here and expect not to get a level of flashback or backflash inside of here that would be unlike anything that they've ever had. I mean, sure, you might cripple some critical infrastructure by a few drone strikes or bombing and stuff like that, but any allies you had left in the system that was probably relying on the shaky nature, everything the way it is, and their economies maintaining what it does, because unless they got the mint press or the credits for the commissary, we don't work, we die. We don't grow food, we die. So wherever that communication's got to happen has to be idealized. And when it comes to it, you got to argue, firebomb the piss out of your crops. It's wide open. It takes you 3 months to at least grow something to a sensible harvest. And if you want to cause a problem with people, then you tell them their leader wouldn't listen to a place where they were so weak that I could have reduced the population of their area. And realistically, we all need to consider trying to reduce our populations down to not a specific set of numbers, certainly between 8 and 10 trillion on the planet with a wave operator, maybe 9 next year, maybe 10 the year after that, or an 8, and maybe we even have a double jump out to 10 or a double fall down to 8, or we push it down to 7 accidentally because of policies or something that year. And that's trying to distribute it the best you can over the planet to make sure that you have some way that the next 18-year-old can roll back into the system, especially while considering who's old and rich around here. That's definitely going to make that a problem, because of the way we print money, the way money works. Gold for soldier? No, I mean, it'd be too heavy for them to do it. They'd keep it all in the bank, and therefore there's a rate. Even though gold is non-fungible, it's certainly fungible. It's like a tool. I can still sell you my stuff at the value of a hammer on whatever it's going to be for the internet. It may drop value a little bit because it's a used tool, but it's still a tool. We're not talking, you can make stuff with tools. You can do things with it. Gold is marginally utilitarian to its conductivity, electricity, resistivity, and weight for gold, ounces and pounds and troy ounces. Silver. When you get in here like that, it doesn't make much sense to try to listen to the horse shit on this side of it, because honestly, let's go to war. I mean, it's going to eventually grind down to that point anyways, isn't it? If they're not going to stop, but we can't attack them, then they're definitely going to only be able to attack Ukraine. Why would they do that? To reduce the male population and maintain a certain democratic control over the issue. Now, Russia still wants it's the issue. Except for America's trying to use the enemy's missiles to do that population instead of capital punishment and abortion issues. Kill the educated male inside of there with the general population. They're gone. You'll leave the retards that couldn't fight, easy to push around or train or manipulate in some way. And all the Ava Browns back home get pregnant by your men. That's how that works.